Up high over your head and then give it 3 big claps. Today we're going to talk about pastured pork farming, how much money you could make doing it, and how much money we actually made doing it this year. Spare ribs are, yeah, I'm going there. Nice. For the last 5 years we have been farming pigs off of our homestead here. And of all the farm enterprises that we've done, pastured pork has been our favorite one. It's been an easy one to market, it's brought us repeat customers, and we love the product. We love raising pigs. Pigs are a great animal to have on the homestead. And you can make good income from pork, as we'll show in this video. So let's start at the top. As long as you have some good secure fencing and your neighbors aren't too close, pigs are an awesome animal to have on the homestead. I like the nature of pigs. I enjoy watching them walk about and spend time in their pasture there. And I like just interacting with them. Pigs are a really fun animal. They're not hard to contain either, as long as you have good solid fencing, especially fencing that's buried, and having a little bit of electric doesn't hurt either. Pigs are especially good if you have a small homestead business or farm business and you're looking to sell some product, because they produce a lot of meat, and in most areas you could probably find a good market for it. It's easy to tell the difference between store-bought pork and delicious farm-raised pastured pork, and as soon as people try it, they're pretty much sold. There are a lot of costs associated with raising pigs. They will require a lot of money up front, and the way that we like to run our business, we like to get down payments on all our pigs in the beginning of the season, so we don't wind up with pigs that we've paid for and no one to sell them to. Because there are a lot of costs. You're going to need to buy the pigs, you're going to need to feed the pigs, and they eat a lot of feed. Of course, you also need to pay some money in hay. And another area where you're going to have a significant investment in pigs is with your upfront infrastructure. We, here at our homestead, we have what we call a pig pad. It's a concrete pad with fence that's buried down into the concrete. That's an escape-proof pen. If we ever need to contain the pigs for any reason, they go in there. And then attached to that, with an open door, is their run, which is dirt and grass and trees and a nice area where they can walk around and enjoy rooting in the dirt and in the mud. We also needed to run water lines. We needed to run, we had to install a frost-free hydrant. And they need, if you're raising them in the warmer time of the year, they will need a roof, maybe 3 walls and a roof for a structure. When we first set up our area for the pigs, we did spend a couple $1,000s between fencing, concrete, water lines, the building. And now over the next 5 to 10 years, we are extrapolating what we spent that first year. We're taking that and we're amortizing that cost into every batch of pigs that we do every year. So that cost of infrastructure, each year we figure about $200 to $300 in infrastructure, depending on how many pigs we raise and sell. In addition to what you're going to pay at first for your infrastructure, then you're going to actually have to buy your pigs. I highly suggest, if you're not a full-time farmer, just get feeder pigs. Don't get 2 pigs that you're going to breed, then you're going to feed them all year round, and those 2 pigs are going to eat up all the profit that you would have made anyway. So just buy feeder pigs. Find a local farmer who sells them at about 8 weeks old. That's what we do every year, and it works great for us. You don't have to worry about breeding or housing pigs in the winter, and you get to enjoy them from spring to fall, which is a great season to be raising pigs. Our feeder pigs cost us about $100 each. So however many pigs we do, it's $100 per feeder pig. Then we have to feed them from 8 weeks old till they're done growing. And that is a significant amount of money. You cannot grass feed a pig and expect it to grow fully. You're gonna need to supplement that pig with grain. What we give our pigs in hay and feed costs us on average about $220 per pig to bring them from 8 weeks old to the point where we can bring them to the butcher. So that means you're going to spend somewhere around $100 per feeder pig, another $220 to feed and hay that pig. You factor in a little bit of infrastructure, and then also if you have a farm business, you're going to want some form of insurance to protect you should something happen. So all in all, each pig that we raise costs us about $500 to bring to the point of 8 weeks old all the way to ready to go to the butcher. $500 is a lot of investment, but we charge for each of our pigs at a minimum of $800, and depending on what order our customers make, we charge even more. So if we sell a whole pig, it costs the customer $800. If we sell a half pig, we charge $475 per half. That means we're making $950 on 2 halves. And it grows from there. The smaller the order, the higher the price. Don't forget this important point. We sell our pigs from $800 and up. That does not include butcher fees. We sell our pigs to our clients. The pig then gets delivered to the butcher and they cover the butcher fees, which where we live is around $400. So a whole pig, a 200-pound hanging weight pig, generally costs our clients about $1,200. And that in Connecticut, where I live, is pretty much the going rate for pastured pork. So when you break it down that simply, for the amount it costs us to raise a pig, the amount that we get for selling that pig, are we profitable with our pigs? Absolutely. $500 investment, $300 profit return, that is a great figure. But hold up, it's never that simple.
Oh boy.
One got out.
Yep. That wasn't too bad. Alright, we'll put the little door on.
So now let's talk about what we actually spent and what we actually made. If you're like us, you're probably going to raise some pigs for customers, but you're also probably going to raise some pigs for your family. Every year, we like to raise 3 pigs for our own family. We raise 1 to do a pig roast here on the farm with our friends and family, and then we raise 2 more, which we have taken to the butcher, cut up, and we leave that in the freezer to feed our family of 6. For our own pigs, we have to pay for all the feed, all the hay and grain, and we also have to pay for the butcher fees, which adds on an additional expense. So this year on our farm, we bought 7 pigs. 3 of those were our own. We sold the other 4. Between whole orders, half orders, and then bulk orders of cuts, $3,790 in. Now that's a really good income. But what did we actually spend for our own pigs and all the other pigs that we had from beginning to end? Well, if you factor in the initial costs of buying the feeders, buying the grain, buying the hay, also remembering to include the cost of insurance and your infrastructure over the 10-year period, in addition to that, factoring in the butcher fees for our personal pigs, if you factor all those expenses in, we actually spent $4,719 on all our pigs. So at first glance, it seems like, no, we were not profitable this year. If we only earned $3,790, but we spent $4,000, well, simple math, we lost money, right? Well, again, it's not that simple. Now it's time to factor in how much money we save by doing our own pigs. Because we sold over $2,000 worth of product from our farm, we are eligible for a farm tax cut on our property. And that farm tax cut between the property tax and sales tax saves us over $1,000 a year in tax savings. Depending on how much we buy, it can save us significantly more than that. So we have a significant savings there. We also save about $400 on each pig that we raise ourselves compared to if we had to buy it from a local farm near us. So the 3 pigs that we raise for our own family, we save over $1,000 on as well. So we earned $3,790. We saved over $2,000 more dollars raising everything ourselves and getting tax cuts. That puts the value at our whole pig enterprise for this year at $5,790. So all in all, the value of raising the pigs on our farm this year was $5,700. We spent about $4,700 to do it. That means that yes, we are profitable, just barely, about $1,000 worth of profit in this endeavor. So was it all worth it? I think so. I really like having pigs. The labor involved with pigs is not that much. I have a nice 1-ton feeder that I get a big ton delivery of feed for. I can easily feed the pigs from that 1-ton feeder. They have automatic waterer set up. The feed and the water I have to check. I check the water daily just to make sure it's working. The feed I only have to fill about once a week, and I have to go pick them up and drop them off to the butcher when we're done. So it's not a lot of time spent on these animals. I enjoy having them on the farm. We get amazing quality meat in our freezer to feed our family. And I still didn't have to pay a lot of money to do it. I actually earned a little bit of money if you do all the calculations the right way. How could we improve? Well, we could raise a few more pigs. If we would raise 10 every year, we could see that number go up. Instead of taking 3 for our own family, we could take only 2 and forget that roaster pig. But I'm not too concerned. As long as the enterprise is barely profitable, I'm eating the best possible meat that I could for me and my family, and I enjoy doing it, that means it's totally profitable all the way. So should you start a pastured pork operation on your farm? Well, that depends. Ask yourself, do you have the right setup for it? Do you have the right fencing? Is the infrastructure there and ready? Do you have neighbors close by who would be affected by the smell? Do you like the idea of having pigs? If all the answers to these questions checks out, then I suggest you start with 2. That's where we started. Don't get just 1 pig, it'll be lonely. Don't get 10 pigs because you'll be totally overwhelmed and want to give up. Start with 2 feeder pigs from a local farm that sells feeder pigs. Take them from start to finish. Keep 1 for yourself, maybe sell 1 to friends and family, maybe keep both for yourself. If you're wondering if you can fit that much meat, well, stay tuned because we'll have a video coming out soon that will show you how much meat is actually in a whole pig. It will help you answer that question. Thanks for watching. We're doing an entire series on homestead income, farm income, how we make this happen financially. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I check the questions every day. And if you want that guinea to shut up, hit like on this video and maybe it'll work. I don't think so. They never shut up. Oh, really? Trying to prove me wrong over here. Today we're going to talk about farming pigs, and specifically a small home-style. Get! Get! Stinking guineas. 2, 3.
Make sure to subscribe.